Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm actually going to answer some questions about being a first year social work student and just what that's like. I've asked on a group for some questions, so I've got some points to go through that I have, well, my answers to, not all the answers to. So I've been asked a lot about sort of what the workload is. So for my degree, in the first year, then I've got 3 modules. So I do a minor subject, which is gender and women's studies, but my social work modules are contemporary social problems and readiness for direct practice. So one of them is sort of just examining society and things that happen. It's more, I'd say, sociology and theory. And then readiness for practice, we do reflective writing. We sort of examine situations to see what we'd do, and I quite like that one because I know that next year I'll be going into placement, so I'm constantly just thinking that these situations might be ones that we're in very soon. And obviously because of COVID, then things have been quite different, so I actually haven't been into campus yet, and I'm about to go into my 3rd and final term of first year when we will actually be going in for the first time. So I'm quite excited for that because I'll actually get to meet everybody and the lecturers finally get to actually see who we are and assess properly if we're ready for practice and what we're suitable for. So in terms of the workload, I actually think this might be different for everybody, but my university, I've got 3 or 4 assignments for each module, and then we have an exam at the end, which is still happening. It's just going to be sort of online and in a time period window instead of an actual exam. The assignments, they don't start off too long. I think my longest one is 2,800 words, and that's the one that I'm doing now, so it's near the end of the year. I haven't found that any of them are things that you can't find out or that you wouldn't know. It's more just sort of finding out how to put it into the right words. And at my university, and I think at most, luckily there's a lot of support. So when you first start, I know that a lot of questions I had was sort of worried about academic writing as well. So we get the referencing guide when we first start, and we did a little sort of welcome package, and you get to do a referencing assignment. So just right off the bat, then you're just learning how to reference, and it's not a big grade, but it still just helps you get in that mindset. I find that what I do is I just save the referencing guide for my university, and then whenever I get to the end of my assignment, then I can check every sort of reference to make sure that it's correct. But there's also lots of other support. I think that from what I've heard, most universities also have it, so you can book appointments. Even during COVID, you can have online appointments. You can submit your assignments to be sort of given back with feedback. Obviously that means you actually have to do them more than about 3 days before, so it's not very helpful for me, but for those organised people who have it done a week or 2 before, then it's very good, and you can get back a grade or sort of corrections or things you can do to make it better, which I think is very good. Let's see. I think that most of the questions that I had other than that were just sort of about, is there any support if you don't know what you're doing, and do you get to talk to the lecturers? So we get to book within their office hours, so you can have 10 minutes, or they're quite accommodating, so if you don't know what you're doing, you can always ask them a question. Even now when we can't go in, then you have the option to email or ask in a seminar or lecture. And at the moment we have 3 seminars a week, so one for each module, and then we have lectures which are slightly different because of COVID, so they're pre-recorded, but if it was actually happening face to face, you'd have at least one of them a week as well. And then just because of what I'm actually doing social work, then we're going to have workshops as well, so those will be about 3 hours for 1 day a week. So I think that is everything I can really say about the sort of breakdown of year one. I was really nervous as well because I am a mature student and I've put off going to university, but I'm really glad that I did, and I've just found that there's a lot of support, there's a lot of help, they're very understanding. If you need an extension or you need extra help, then there's some kind of resource that you can use. And I'm just looking forward to going into placement, and I guess I'll be able to make a video telling you all about that when it's actually happened. And I'm hoping to go maybe into a school, children's services, something like that for my first placement, which we're now preparing for. So we've sort of put together a bit of our profile, which then gets sent off and you get matched. And I think that most people will be having their first placement at the start of next year as well. So that'll be really good. I hope that answers some of the questions that I've got, and I will be doing a video about both my Access course that I did to get onto my degree and just about the general experience of being a mature student in university. So if you're interested for that, then please subscribe and I'll see you again. Bye!